This is the Freedom Planet 2 box art. You've probably seen it a bunch of times, and so have I, but have you looked real closely at Lilac's tail? It's all fluffy and fur-like, right? Now look at her sprite in game. Then look at her tail on the Freedom Planet 1 box art. Now look at the Freedom Planet 1 sprite in game. It's a stick-looking thing. Comparing it to the Freedom Planet 2 box art, this doesn't look anything similar. What's going on? It seems like the developers, when drawing Lilac's tail for the box art and making her sprite, no one can agree on what it actually looks like. The result? Her tail is completely inconsistent. You want me to ruin this sprite forever? Alright, here goes. You see this big purple part on her back? Now comparing this to the other sprites that show her tail, this tail is way too big. It covers her entire back. That is not what the tail should look like at all. So again, it seems like the artists of the game really can't come to a conclusion of what the tail looks like, because it's not fluffy in Freedom Planet 1 and it's not fluffy in the Freedom Planet 2 sprites, but it is on the box art. And also, here's one last tail fact. On the official Lilac plush, yes, the one I have gone through hell to try to get and still don't have it, she doesn't have a tail at all. There's just nothing there. It's just missing. They either forgot about it or they didn't care enough to put it on there. I'm going to guess they forgot about it. To be honest, it is a really, really small detail. But comparing this to the Sonic community, if a Sonic plush released and it didn't have Sonic's tail, there would be an absolute riot in the streets. So it's good that the Freedom Planet community at least has some brain cells. Also, welcome to the series where I talk about random facts about a random indie game that you may have played. If you want to check out part 1 of this series, you can go into the description below or hit one of the card thingies or whatever, or just look at the channel. Use your freaking brain. Anyway, let's go. Also, at like 500 subs, I'll sing a Sonic song. Now let's go into things that are actually in game. In the stage Bakuna Rush, if you use a wood, earth, fire, water, or metal shield charm, you do not get the shield at the beginning of the level. Now, if you know anything about the shield charms, they're supposed to give you that element shield at the beginning of the level. But it just doesn't for Bakuna Rush. Why is this? Well, it seems that they just assumed that you would already drop on the shield crystal down below, so you would just get a free shield from that anyway. But it goes even deeper than that. If you jump on one of the crystal platforms, it will give you your shield from the shield charm. So then you can jump back and break the shield crystal, giving you your shield, giving you double shields at the beginning of the level. Now, is this really that helpful? Not really. Bakuna Rush is relatively one of the easier levels, but still, it's pretty cool. Staying on Bakuna Rush and the shield crystal, for some reason there are multiple things involved with this shield crystal. This is the only shield crystal in the entire game to not have any collision. You can run right through it, you can jump on it, you can do whatever you want, it has no collision. The only thing you can do is break it. It seems that they, again, weren't expecting the player to go back. And maybe shields have weird collision properties when it comes to being on rails. Anyway, I want the devs to update the description for the shield charm. This is misleading. You see this? It says you will start with insert type of shield here at the beginning of the level. Well, it shouldn't be that. It should be once your feet touch the ground, not counting rails, you get a shield. It's severely misleading, unplayable, can't play this game anymore. I hate this game now. Literally uninstalling it. Where's my Steam refund? I don't want to play this game anymore. Moving on to other things that aren't in the game. In my last video, I said that there are actual multiple collabs with Freedom Planet. Well, those are all the collabs that have Lilac in it, as there are more collabs. The first one is very, very interesting. We have Indie Assault. Now, Indie Assault was, very key word there, a Smash Bros-like game starring multiple indie characters. Now, this game shut down for whatever reason, but you could play as Spade. Why Spade? I don't know why they chose Spade. I guess it fit the game's style more. And let me tell you, before I show gameplay of this game, what do you think Spade looks like? Maybe it's a sprite-based game. Maybe it's a, Melee-inspired graphics. This is what the game looks like.
2, 1, fight!
So, this draws very heavily from Smash Brothers, which isn't a bad thing, like all those games around. So B is jump and double jump. You've got kind of punching on the
Yes, if you told me this was 1 cent shovelware on the Switch that you see all the time, I would believe you. This looks awful. This game looks really, really rough. Like, early access janky rough. This game is also the reason why I don't like Freedom Planet characters in a 3D environment. I just think they look really out of place. It just doesn't work for me. Like I said, this game is no longer playable and you can't buy it from Steam. It's just gone. And Spade was removed from the roster a little bit before the game got pulled from shelves. Again, don't know what happened. It just is gone. I guess the devs weren't really happy with the game that they had, which I know it's bad to dog on indie games, but seriously guys, what is this gameplay? Spade literally looks like he just saw God.
I'm off the stage. There's a stock of 3 lives per character as well. No, it's the back. The back one's really, and every time you run to the edge of a thing, you just gotta stop, which is annoying.
This game is amazing. This game. Why did they take this game down? It was completely perfect in every way. Alright, now on to a game that honestly I might be interested in. Duelist of Eden. Now, Duelist of Eden has Nira, which is pretty interesting because she's one of the more obscure characters in Freedom Planet, but still pretty cool. Now, this game is actually a strategy card game that recently added Nira. Pretty cool. I might give it a shot. Who knows? Looking at gameplay, it does kind of look like my type of game. So if it goes on sale or goes free at any point, I'll give it a shot. Why not? And for the last collab, we have Mila. Mila shows up in Petal Crash, another Galaxy Trail title. Now, Galaxy Trail is only developed for 2 franchises, Freedom Planet and Petal Crash. They have published another game, but we're not going to talk about that. Petal Crash is a puzzle game like Dr. Mario. I'm not really big on puzzle games, but I like the sprite work, and honestly, I think if you're into puzzle games, this looks like a cool game. You can even get it on Switch and Steam, so might have to give it a shot. And apparently it's getting a sequel soon. This one isn't necessarily a collab, but it's a pretty cool Easter egg. Back to platform fighters, in Super Smash Flash 2, the Flash game that is a Smash Bros game, there's an Easter egg where if you play as Sonic, one of his costumes has Lilac's color scheme. Back when I first played Smash Flash, I knew who Lilac was, but I hadn't played Freedom Planet at the time. After finally playing it, it's the only costume I use when I play Sonic. Coincidentally, Sonic is also one of my favorite characters to play as in that game, so if I become a Super Smash Flash Pro, you already know what costume I'm rocking. And when I rock that costume, I'll be able to spread my Freedom Planet propaganda everywhere I go.
Lastly is a very cool reference to Sash Lilac from Freedom Planet.
What?
And now for even more Sonic characters.
What? That's not even like... Oh my god, dude. Lilac? Lilac, really? We're gonna go Lilac? Maybe I could understand Sash, but Lilac? Really? That's an actual word. Oh my god. Also, the makers of Smash Flash, they developed frame makers, and I mentioned in my last video, if you put Lilac in the Smash Flash, you can do it in frame makers. Just saying. Just saying, man. Just saying. Just saying. I think that would be a good idea, guys. Come on. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I don't really have an outro planned as I didn't write one. I probably should have done that. But yeah, if you want to see more of these fun fact kind of videos, subscribe. I worked very hard on it. So yeah. Peace.